Hello everyone, welcome to the Ranting Shop. Today we're going to be continuing with Young, Famous and African. This is episode 4 entitled The Queen Bee. And we start off with Annie, who is invited out by Bonang, and she finally decided to divulge why she and Swanky are not in a very good place. Now, remember, I told you guys initially I felt like she did not know why. And I still think she doesn't know why, because I think she knows why she's upset, but she does not know why he's upset. So there's still a bit of miscommunication there. But either way, we gained clarity, because what it is that she's saying that she and Swanky stayed up all night planning an event where they would host their friends, some friends from South Africa, in Lagos, Nigeria, which is their home country. And then Swanky calls and says he doesn't think they should do the event. Then she's seeing on social media that Swanky, along with Zari and others, attended another event around that very same time she planned the event with Swanky. So as far as Annie is concerned, she felt betrayed by Swanky, because instead of being honest with her, he decided to completely just bypass her, ignore her, and do what he wanted to do. She also mentioned the fact that at the table at the event in the first episode or second, he kissed everybody on the cheek, saw her, bypassed her, and went back to where he was. The tension in that scene was palpable. It was a lot, and it was strong. What I will say, from my opinion thus far, is I feel as if, and that's the thing, I don't know the timeline, because it could either be that conversation Annie had that he was eavesdropping on happened after he did what he did, and that would make a lot of sense, or it happened before, and that is why he decided to not include Annie in the black tie event that he attended with Zari. What do you guys think? Let me know quickly. But it's actually very interesting to me that Annie felt comfortable to tell Bonang what the issue really is with her and Swanky, but she didn't. I don't know if she told Kani. And her excuse is that she feels as if Bonang seems to be mature, but she doesn't quite trust the rest of them, which is telling. So we have two crowds. We have Bonang, Zari, and Annie on the boat somewhere, trying to, I guess, come together and be cordial with each other, even though Annie doesn't quite like Zari because she doesn't trust her. And to be honest, if I was Annie, I wouldn't really trust Zari either, because of past events that she's and past things that she's done. She seems messy. And then we have another crowd. We have Kani, Swanky, Nadia, and Kaylee. And essentially, basically what it seems like to me from the side with Swanky is that they're now trying to say that they don't know if Annie is their friend. So it seems like it kind of appears like a phasing out of Annie type of situation is what they're trying to do, which I don't know if I like. Now that she and Swanky has issues, Nadia is piping up to say, well, I really don't know if Annie's my friend. I don't think I'm Annie's friend. I'm more so attached to Annie indirectly because of Swanky. And that just speaks to the fact that these women are not genuine friends. And now Kani is gonna pipe up talking about how she feels like she and Annie is going through a breakup. So I really don't know what is going on right now, but it just seems as if it's going to be a get Annie out type of campaign. Alright, so as Kani is basically saying she doesn't feel like Annie is a friend to anyone, she's only a friend to herself, Kaylee pipes up and is like, okay, well, I don't feel like it was right for you to like tell her fuck you in front of everyone. Maybe that is really why Annie feels away with Kanye at this point. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to really like Kaylee because more and more it seems as if she's just trying to make sense out of everything, and she's probably the most genuine person that I've seen thus far. Because everyone seems very fake and they only seem real just because it benefits them. But as far as if they were to show their real, it would be a whole different story. So I love the fact that Kaylee stuck to her point and she was basically telling Kanye it was wrong of you to cuss her out in front of all these people. Don't act as if all of you guys are friends when you guys are on a table talking about the fact that y'all are not really that close to Annie, or y'all were never friends with Annie. That's very hypocritical. I'm seeing so much hypocritical behavior on this show that it's crazy to me. Like, your audacity is, it's like they can see other people's BS, but they are blind to their own BS. It's crazy to me. I see actually very few people on this show that I would genuinely trust. And to be honest with you, I completely understand why Annie feels the way she feels about this group, because you really cannot trust anyone, and she's at a point where she's really starting to see that she can't trust these people in this crowd, and I don't blame her. So then we're back on the side with Bonang and the rest of the girls, and Zari is like, Kanye cannot be trusted. And I love how they edited this, because you're seeing two different sides, two different groups speaking on the same topic with similar but opposing words. So we see that Kaylee is coming at Kanye, well, not coming at her, but rightfully telling her off for how she kind of disrespected Annie. And we see Annie kind of repeating those same talking points that Kaylee had, which was that it was disrespectful of her to do that. And then we have Zari saying that Kanye's kind of like a snake. She'll seem like she has the back of whoever she's with at the moment, is essentially what Zari was saying. And just based on what I'm seeing in that dynamic, it seems like that is the case to me, because how can you not understand that you disrespecting Annie clearly speaks to the fact that y'all have two different ways and methods of communicating. The fact that y'all don't understand each other's communication style and assumes that, oh, everybody just should assume and just should take anything from their friends because they're friends. It speaks to the fact that their friendship was never built on anything solid in the first place. Here I am agreeing with Kaylee again. So the Adibias decided to host some of the members of the group, and I was shocked that she invited Nadia, because I've never really seen Annie and Nadia really interact in a genuine way, and so that shocked me. And to also see Kaylee and Naked there was kind of interesting as well. But I have to agree with Kaylee that everybody's talking about, oh, Annie's not their friend, oh, Annie, there's a one-sided friendship with Annie, but I don't think anybody really tries to see things from her perspective and tries to at least meet her halfway. To me, it's more so of, oh, we're tired of you and we're tired of the way you go through, do things. We don't care what you're going through. We just want you to be this way that we want you to be for us, which I feel like is extremely selfish. On top of her marriage issues always in the blogs, we have the dissemination of her friendship with, not dissemination, but the depletion of her friendship with Swanky, deterioration I should say. And now we see Kanye wants to fall off as well, and Nadia is joining almost immediately, like she's been waiting for the others to not engage with Annie so that she could not do it either. I just don't like it, honestly. At least Kaylee's understanding. One thing about Kaylee is like no matter if you bash her, talk about her, even if she sees some shady things that you're doing, she's going to always give you the benefits of the doubt. And that's one thing that I kind of respect about her. Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed for Annie because her husband, Mr. Innocent, is the more he's talked, people are talking about loving their relationship, and Andile is admiring them, giving them all their flowers, even if it may not be fully deserved because of all these rumors we've heard and because of things we've heard Annie having to go through with this man. And he is here completely undoing everything Andile is trying to help them do, which is build up their marriage and boost up the marriage perception in front of these other people. Two-Face decides to say essentially people should just be direct about what they want, and then it goes left from there. If I want sex, I should just say I want sex. If I want this, I should just say I want dick. Men are wired to make love to the people they love. I just make love to the people I love, and I just want to have sex with basically other people. That's what the man is saying. And people are like, Nadia is asking, like, are you talking in general or are you speaking about you? And I really believe that he's speaking about himself. That is so embarrassing. My goodness, he didn't even answer the question Nadia asked. Are you talking about yourself or are you talking about generally speaking? This man is talking about himself. Now Annie wants further clarity because she can't believe that Two-Face is essentially admitting in front of everybody, people that are not that close to Annie, that he adopts the mindset that essentially a married man who has a wife and children should be allowed to sleep with whoever because his penis is gonna want what it wants, but he will love who he loves, which is crazy to me and embarrassing. Like, Two-Face, be quiet. Poor Andile. Andile is like the family's lawyer. It's like the family spokesperson. If there's any misinterpretation, he's there to set the record straight. But what Adibia is saying is what he feels. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's been doing. That's what the blogs have been saying he's been doing. And everybody's trying to prove it wrong, make it something that's not true. Even she's tried to discount it. But I truly believe Two-Face continuously cheats on Annie. It's something that he's not stopped doing. So Andile is trying to get Nadia to stop engaging him in this conversation, because as much as Andile is trying to do damage control, he can't do anything because Two-Face is a grown man and he's gonna say what he's gonna say. You can't stop Two-Face from saying what he wants to say. If he wants to out his relationship and embarrass Annie, well, there's literally nothing you could do, but he's basically trying to get Nadia to alter the conversation, because at this point Annie has gotten up, she's left, she's embarrassed and she needs time to just breathe. But it's like Two-Face is continuing with no regard and it's sad. I feel like what it is Nadia asked a question, and I'm not going to blame Nadia for what Two-Face decided to divulge. I will never do that. Two-Face is a grown man, and my whole thing is people in general should stop babying men and treating them like they're children that are supposed to be placed in child-proof environments, right? I feel like if that's what he chose to say, he chose to say it, and it was not Nadia's fault. But I also cringe at Nadia hearing this, because I just know she's going to go back and tell Kani this. And I just don't think it's a time to be gossipy. So essentially, Fontana is iffy because, in my opinion, she feels uncomfortable that she went out with Zari's ex Diamond and she doesn't know how to act. I feel like all that awkwardness is on her, and I don't think it's anything to really do with Zari. So anyway, Louis, I finally know the guy's name. Louis comes into the picture now, so I'm assuming they're going to have that confrontation, because he did tell the guys that he knew Bunang, but Bunang said she didn't know him. So let's see what happens. So Lewis is explaining the situation again with Bonang. And basically what he's saying is what he told Swanky, which is that he booked her for an event. He did not confirm the hotel room. Somebody ended up booking the hotel room and she had to fly right back to Namibia. Now Swanky goes and tells her something about flowers in room and something of that sort. Bear in mind, I never heard Lewis tell him anything about flowers in room. So that did not come from Lewis, that came from Swanky. I did not hear Lewis say nothing of that sort. Or maybe he did, but I didn't pick it up. But what I remember him saying was what he's repeating to Benang right now. So there's another mess that happens. Zari goes and opens her big mouth and tells Swanky that Annie had them listen to the voice message, and even tells Swanky that Annie thinks that he was not genuine essentially in that voice message. That is adding fuel to the fire. Why would you do that? If you cared anything about Swanky and Annie's friendship, why would you go ahead and divulge that information? These people are all out for drama, all out for mess. None of them like each other, and this is gonna become a mess. Alright, so Swanky finally decides to just spill the tea because all of them are probing and seeing what Annie's saying. So he decided to give his 2 cents, which is essentially that he decided to come up with an event, contacted Annie's people. Annie answered the call with the manager, with him on the line as well, tells the manager she doesn't want him to be a part of it. Like basically she wants to be the one to host it on her own. And Swanky in the meantime is in the background listening to the conversation on mute. And that is where everything blew up, because I guess Swanky felt like she kind of was trying to undermine him. And so when he got wind of that, he decided to do it himself. And that's what is happening here right now. Either way, I just cannot wait until they both just talk to each other and talk about it to each other. I would have preferred if they kept quiet until they had the conversation with each other, as opposed to talking to A, B, and C about the situation and then they going to Swanky and saying, well, Annie said this. It just seems so messy that way. So anyways, Fontana and Lewis go somewhere in a corner. It doesn't seem to me that Fontana really likes Lewis like that, because he's basically talking about how he wants to spend more time with her away from the group. And basically she's saying she doesn't know how she feels. So essentially she does basically code for I don't really like you like that. So Fontana is basically saying she doesn't really like Louis because he comes across too soft. Now maybe that's been his issue, is because he comes across too soft, and women don't really like that. They like a tough man, a masculine man, and he doesn't give off that energy. So anyways, at the table, Miss Bonang is saying that she doesn't like Louis because he talks too much, and that she doesn't like men with muscles and he lies. My thing is, Bonang, instead of confronting Lewis directly about what he's saying, why would you wait until he leaves the table and then discuss all the things that you're saying he's lying about? That to me comes across as extremely catty and very cowardice. Like, if you think the man is such a liar, give him facts as to why you think he's lying, or give the proper facts as you know it, but don't say these things behind his back. Okay, so they come back to the table and Swanky chooses this opportunity to let Zari know that Fontana has really been seeing Diamond. That's essentially what he's trying to tell Zari. Messy. I see why Swanky is talking, because it's gonna create a lot of issues if it's not spoken about and just put out into the air. At least she knows. She may not know what to do with the information, but at least she knows about it. That's all I could say. And Zari says, she hopes he doesn't pull a Nadia. And I don't even remember what he did with Nadia like the last time. I know he was interested in Nadia, and it went absolutely nowhere to my recollection. So Zari decides. My thing about Zari is if you don't care too much about what Diamond is doing and who he's doing it with, why would you go ahead and tell Miss Fontana that, oh, me and Diamond are really comfortable with each other. If I'm cold, he's gonna want to warm me up. If he's cold, I'm gonna warm him up. We're always cozy and cuddly with each other. And when it's me in the room, Diamond ignores every other woman. Why would you tell that to Fontana? Like, I feel like she secretly sees Fontana as some kind of threat, which is interesting because you say you don't want him. So I'm confused. Or maybe she's just saying that to brace Fontana just in case she sees that behavior and she doesn't get too alarmed. But if nothing is serious, it's still no need for her to say anything. So while Fontana and Zari are going back and forth about who likes Diamond more and who doesn't like Diamond, she says Diamond is a city boy. She's a city girl, so they're kind of a match made in hell, I guess. And basically Louis pipes up and is like, don't be another one of Diamond's side chicks. Now, I don't think he meant to say side chick per se. I think what he meant was don't be another one of his women that he uses and leaves. I think that's what he wanted to say. But either way, you offended Bonang, who already has an issue with him because she thinks he's a liar. Although she never said that to him in his face. She said it behind his back. But either way, she has an issue with him and feels like he's showing a bit of how do we call this, patriarchal verbiage by saying she would be another one of his side chicks. And then she's like, so what about her? How about he being another one of her men on her roster? And that is true as well, but I also feel as if it was not that serious. But we all know drama. Louis and Bonang are going back and forth about who knows what's best for Fontana. Fontana knows what's best for herself. She's a grown woman, but I tend to understand more so what Louis is saying. Like, if you decide to ride that train of Diamond and his many women, then you will be known for that. As at this point, I know nothing about Fontana. I know nothing about her music, but I do know that she has an interest in Diamond, which kind of proves his point. You are gonna get overshadowed. Your career that you're trying to build is going to get overshadowed if you get with somebody like Diamond, who has such a loud history of being a playboy. I agree with Swanky here. I definitely feel like Louis is basically piping up, not necessarily because he cares so much about Fontana, but I also think it's just because he wants Fontana to leave space for him. He kind of wants to compete because he has Diamond's name, and him and Diamond have been in issues before with women, so that competitive streak probably came out and he was like, I don't want to lose to Diamond again. But he's already lost to Diamond. I think at the end of the day, money is gonna supersede looks. And as we see, Fontana is gearing more towards Diamond anyway, so he's already lost. So he's fighting a lost battle, not even a losing battle. Alright, and we leave off where Bonang storms off because she's pissed at Louis because she feels as if Louis is a liar. The verdict is still out on whether he's lying or not, but we shall see. What it is maybe not that he was the face of the transaction. Maybe other people were the face or the contact people for Bonang, and that's the people she knows. But then maybe it was really him doing the actions and moves behind the scenes. Who knows? I have no clue. The verdict is still out on Louis. Do you guys feel like Louis is like a BSer, or do you think he's telling the truth? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know, is this the Annie hate train? Like, what really is going on? This episode was really hectic. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye bye. Subscribe, like, and share if you please.